Hi, I'm Juan.
I'm Felipe.
Your car is looking really nice, by the way.
Oh, you mean Shadowfax?
So we're Alpaca Thunder Productions. We make movie reviews on YouTube. That's an online video website.
Like and subscribe. It really helps us, right?
Yeah, that helps us a lot. Today we're making a movie review on the mockumentary What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows, written, directed, and starred in by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, is a surprisingly heartfelt mockumentary covering the lives of vampire flatmates and the challenges that come with. I'm actually working right now. Could you not? Hey, no, I need.
Maybe he's upset you didn't introduce him.
Okay.
You rolling?
Where do I look?
Anywhere but the camera. So what did you think of the film?
I like.
Did you answer like a human?
I enjoy the movie. It's good. It's a good film. I've actually seen it. I saw it several years ago now, but I rewatched it recently for this.
Anything you want to point out?
Honestly, my favorite scene is just when they're having their flat meeting, kind of like in the beginning of the movie.
Have a quick chat about flat responsibilities because, guys, I think that we're not all pulling our weight here.
They ask Deacon if he can please do the bloody dishes. And then the camera pivots over and then you just see bloody dishes. And
The point is, Deacon, that you have not done the dishes for 5 years.
Vladislav is right. It's unacceptable to have so many bloody dishes all over this bench like this.
So there's a story to that.
okay.
In an interview, Taika was telling the interviewer that he was living in a New Zealand flat with like 8 flatmates, including himself, and nobody wanted to do the dishes. He didn't say explicitly that this scene was based on that experience, but to me it sounds like maybe it was at least motivated by it.
Comedy aside, the film touches on aspects of life we can all relate to, namely wasted time and accepting one's lot in life.
And then one day they can't even remember who you are. And you wish they were dead. And then they do die.
And then I actually kind of like how they play into the whole vampires live fraternity, right? So it's been 5 years since they've done the dishes, which I guess in vampire days or years, that's a blink of an eye. But
that ties really well into one of the overall themes of how people just waste a lot of time. Kind of like in the scene where they're playing music, and you would expect somebody who's 300 years old, like Viago, to be better at playing that horn.
I like that he turns the page to see what the next note is, but I'm pretty sure he's playing the exact same note, just a different tone, right? There's not much.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of makes it's like one of those things where it's like, if I was 1,000,000 years old, I would practice the piano and be the best.
Yeah.
No, this is probably what would happen. You just procrastinate your days away.
Guys,
Come into the house.
Hi, my name is Nick.
hey guys.
I've been a vampire for 2 months.
As a mockumentary, the film is able to play with the concept of who to follow as the protagonist.
Take 2.
I think one of my favorite parts of the movie is how the main character shifts all the time. So the movie starts and you kind of think Viago is the main character. And then you get the super cool hipster dude who becomes a vampire. And you're like, oh, now he's the main character. And in the end, we get Stu.
It's all about Stu.
It's all about Stu, and Stu's the main character in the end. And what I love about Stu is that he's playing himself. Literally, his name is... What's his name?
Stu is great. We really like him.
At first, I wanted to kill him, but now I'm glad I spent the time to get to know him.
Yeah, so his name is Stuart Rutherford. He's literally playing himself.
Stu plays Stu.
Stu plays Stu. He's just that like always helpful, always willing to lend a hand kind of guy, and he's the straight man of the whole movie. So he's the stooge.
Oh, what would you do without me? What would you do, boy? What would you do without me when I'm gone?
Yeah, he's probably the best part of the movie. And what's funny is when he's explaining his job, that's actually in real life how he explains his job.
I was just gonna ask, like, is that what did he actually get a guy named Stu? That's his profession?
So he was there. He was a flatmate of Taika's at a time. So there's a story of like Taika. He brings a coffin home and he goes to Stu and he's like, "Hey, is it okay if I keep this in your house or in your room?" And Stu's just like, "Yeah, all right. Kind of weird, but okay."
You turn me into a vampire. Maybe don't do that to him. He's a vegetarian. The last thing he'd want to do is eat a live being or eat blood or eat meat.
I think you mentioned it already at one point, but you talked about how they all the vampires are based off like ones from not real ones because vampires aren't real.
So they say.
But based on like other fictional works, and I think one of my favorites, right, is Vlad. What's his actual name in the movie?
The vampires themselves were actually based on famous vampires. Taika's Viago being a mix of Tom Cruise's Lestat and his own mother. Jermaine's Vladislav evokes the imagery of Gary Oldman's Dracula, and Jonathan Brug's Deacon is a nod to pretty much all the vampires in The Lost Boys. And of course, Ben Frasham's Peter, a ghastly monument to the great Nosferatu.
Vladislav.
I just want to call him Vlad the Impaler, but instead of Impaler, he's the poker.
Yeah.
My thing was I would poke someone with implements. I was known as Vladislav the Poker.
Then they're in social media, and is that MySpace or they're in where you do the pokes? Which one had the pokes?
That's Facebook.
Was that old Facebook when you do pokes? And then they're like, and you can poke
people.
And he's like, yes.
We can look at her photos.
Oh, yes.
Or we could poke her.
Yes.
Good?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for watching. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh. If you're watching this,